Well, welcome back, Blade fans. And as you can see, we've got Civivi on the table, all tucked away in its nice little pouch. And this is something special because it hasn't dropped yet and will drop on December 16th at White Mountain. I thank White Mountain for sending this out for review. And we've got something called the Neurohaptic. By the way, inside here, we've got all the usual Civivi stuff. I'm not going to bore you with it. It's good if you want warranty work done and so on and so forth, and you want a microfiber cloth and some stickers. But here we have a large, and I do mean large, 3 3/4 inch button lock in Nitro-V, something that Civivi is using frequently lately. As you take a gander at that, and I zoom in a little bit for your viewing pleasure, why is it named Neurohaptic? Well, that is a field of study, a scientific and technological field that studies the neural representation and cognitive modulations associated with tactile and kinesthetic interactions. Check that out. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but you can freeze frame that if you're interested, or just look it up. That is on the Civivi website under Neurohaptic. Comes in a few different handle flavors. I find that the interesting material they're using of late is what they call shred G10, not shred carbon fiber, but shred G10. So you can see that shredded pattern in there, similar to what you see with shred carbon fiber. It's really cool. The button is set up very nicely so that if I just press accidentally with the flat of my thumb, it wiggles a little bit, but it will not close. I have to push in with the tip of the thumb. A lot of you out there, including myself, were suspicious of button locks because the initial button locks that manufacturers made stuck the button way up high, and this one is only slightly up to where you can see it above this milled out portion here. So the raised portions to either side of the button prevent it from pushing in all the way. It's kind of hard to see with the light here, but I'll show you as best I can. You do need to push in all the way. And so then you can see that plunge lock engage. And there you can see it pop up. So it's blocking roughly 50% of the tang on the blade, keeping it from closing. Let me go back out a little bit again here. Okay. So as long as you push the tip of your thumb in, it is fidgety. No problems. And if you wish, and you get it right about here, you can middle finger flick it with the fuller. And it's a soft shouldered fuller, but it's deep enough so that it will pick up your finger so that it'll flip open. We have a clip point. I wouldn't call it a Bowie. It's a clip with a very gradual, I call it shallow belly, not a deep belly, and a fairly high grind. Feels comfortable in the hand. I like the jimping. They set it forward on kind of a forward ramp here, which is something that you see Microtech do on, say, the SOCOM Bravo. There's this run here and there's this run here. Also on the original SOCOM Elite, set up the same way, but you have jimping on both sides of the hump of the Killian, if you want to call it that, or the guard. This portion of the handle that gives you the ramp on both sides and kind of keeps your hand back for those forward moving thrusts that we do on those cardboard boxes before we break them down and throw them in the recycle. Got some interesting hash marks here. These grooves milled in just kind of for design, a little bit of a grip there. And all in all, the material is not slippery, it's smooth, but it's not really that slick. Got some holes here in the center. And we do have a very obvious lanyard provision on the pommel there that's part of the backspacer. Backspacer looking like it's made of the same material as the handle, or perhaps just a plain black G10. They didn't use up the fancy stuff for that. And torques wise, we got a T8 there, and we actually have T8s for the body screws, which you should like. You've got an almost perfectly deep carry clip, except that this lanyard pommel is sticking out beyond it. We do have provision on the left side to switch the clip over, which is also a beautiful thing. That said, let's get into some dimensions here. If I go all the way to the end of that lanyard provision, it is like a 8.9. If we don't include that, it's like a 8.8, something like that. The blade, they call it 3 3/4, but I'm getting almost 4 inches. If you go to the very middle there, it is like a 3.9 with a cutting edge because of the choil of like 3.6, let's say. Other dimensions. In inches, we got a slim handle of 0.50, exactly half an inch. And I'm going to grab this from the tang so we get an accurate blade stock measurement. 0.11. Got to make sure I turn it so you can see it with the light. And that's 3.0 millimeters. Weight. Fairly light feeling knife for the size. It is 4.3, call it 4.32 ounces, 4.32. And you'll see those measurements coming up now on the screen. Nice back flipper, jimping on the front of it and the top of it. So it's kind of hard to miss. You can light switch it or can't quite push button it. It is about even with the pivot, okay? Real easy to light switch it though. Can't really quite push button it unless you want to really step on it, you know. Got to pull back just a little bit. And you got sort of a nice ramp there into that. And of course, push button, you can always, I didn't do that too well, did I? Always open it by pushing the button, and it didn't quite lock open. But a handsome knife. What is it like? What do we compare it to? Well, I just happen to have the Tactiquorix. I think they're somewhat similar. Hollow grind here, flat grind here. You can definitely see that hollow in the light. Clip here, about the same degree clip as we have here, but we've got a taller blade in the Tactiquorix and a taller handle. It's somewhat a larger knife. Not so much in length, slightly longer in length. It is a thumb stud opener as well as a flipper tab opener. And here we've got jimping only on the front, and it feels a little bit rougher. And of course, got your thumb studs. They fire very, very nicely as well. Both knives on bearings, as you would expect from most Civivi knives these days. This is a shred gray G10. Interesting. Got another big one here from Concept. This is the Hell X, designed by Mikkel Willemsen in Copenhagen. And this is an even bigger blade. If we go even here, we're about 3/4 of an inch longer overall. And if I go even here, the blade is about the same, about a 3.6 inch blade or so on the cutting edge, and a big choil there. Justin from Tier 1 responded to my Instagram posting of this Neurohaptic. Almost forgot the name. He says he likes it when you've got the double finger placement between the finger groove and the choil area up there, what he calls a 50-50. And you can do that. You just have to be, I mean, my finger doesn't quite fit, and they usually will bring the heel of this edge forward so you don't cut yourself, but still you're kind of close. So just be careful if you do that. I prefer to just kind of hold it that way. And I really do like the jimping in this position. It just gives you a really nice tactile sensation. That's a button lock too, the Hell-X, in case you're wondering. It's in D2. It's a heavier knife. Review's already out on that from a while ago. Concept sent me that one for review. And both of these Civivis are my purchases. Both come from White Mountain. What else are we going to do? Well, we're going to maybe test the sharpness. What do you say? How is this Neurohaptic? It's sharp, baby. Yeah, no effort. Civivis are coming through sharp these days. Weren't always, and may still not be in all cases, but it's a ½ thick. Doesn't feel like a ½ thick because of the size. Feels quite slim. Full exposed liners. And we do have, yeah, lots of weight relieving inside. Can I show you that? Let's see. Get the light right. Well, I'll whip the old flashlight out. Why not? This is my mini flashlight by, what the heck's the name of the company? Yeah, I'm not going to bother looking it up. Got a bunch of them, though. Great company. There is your weight relieving, that grid work inside. So very cool. This comes, as I said, in a couple other flavors. I'll make sure you've got the link on White Mountain. Nicely done blade. Nicely done button lock folder. That is, again, the Neurohaptic by Civivi. And it's dropping Monday at White Mountain. Don't forget, you can pre-order it. December 16th, 2024. By the time you see this next year, they'll be out in abundance. But if you want to hop on it quick, put your pre-order in with White Mountain. Enjoy, take care. Don't forget to give this vid a like and subscribe by clicking this symbol right over here, my logo. Be well.